Welcome to the English with Friends podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to English with Friends. I'm Matt.
And I'm Sophie. It's great to be back with you all for episode 6. How are you doing, Matt?
I'm doing great, Sophie, and I'm hungry, which is perfect because today we're talking about one of my favorite topics, going out to eat.
Ooh, yes, eating at restaurants. It's such a common social activity, but it comes with so much specific vocabulary and cultural etiquette. It can be a little intimidating if you're not used to it.
Exactly. So our goal today is to make you feel much more confident next time you dine out. We'll walk you through the entire process, from choosing a restaurant to paying the bill.
Right. So where do we start? The first step is deciding where to go.
Yep. Imagine you and a friend want to get dinner. You might ask, "What are you in the mood for?" Or, "What are you feeling like?" This is a great way to ask what type of food someone wants.
In the mood for. I use that all the time. Your friend might reply with a specific cuisine, like, I'm craving Italian food, or how about we get some Thai? The word craving is a good one. It means you have a very strong desire for a particular food.
Right. And your friend might have a dietary preference too. They might say, "I'm looking for something vegetarian," or, "Are there any good vegan spots around here?" Spots is a casual word for places. Totally. I'm often craving pizza. Once you've decided on a cuisine, you have to pick a place. You could go for something casual, which we often call a casual dining restaurant. This is a relaxed place, not too expensive. Or you could choose fine dining.
Right. Fine dining is the opposite. It's much more formal, more expensive, and you probably need to dress up a little. It's for special occasions, usually.
For sure. And for those popular or fine dining places, you'll likely need to make a reservation. That means calling ahead or booking online to save your spot.
Yes, definitely make a reservation, especially on a weekend. The phrase you'd use on the phone is, I'd like to make a reservation for 2 people at 7 p.m. under the name Sophie.
Perfect. Some people also say book a table, which means the same thing. Can I book a table for this Friday? So, okay, we've chosen a restaurant, we've made a reservation, now we arrive. What happens next, Sophie?
When you walk in, there's usually a person at the front called the host or hostess. Their job is to greet you and take you to your table.
The host.
You'd walk up to them and say, Hi, we have a reservation for 2 under the name Sophie. If you don't have a reservation, you'd say, Hi, a table for 2, please?
And they might say, "Of course, right this way." And then they seat you, which means they lead you to your table. Once you're seated, they'll give you the menus. This is when things get really interesting.
Yes, the menu. Let's break down a typical menu. It's usually divided into sections. You'll have appetizers, sometimes called starters.
Right. These are the small dishes you eat before the main meal, things like soups, salads, or breadsticks.
Exactly. Then you have the main course, which in American English is sometimes called the entrée. This is the biggest part of the meal, like a steak, a pasta dish, or a big curry.
That entree thing can be confusing for learners because in French it means appetizer, but in the US it's the main dish. Good to know. After the main course, you have dessert, the best part.
Of course, cake, ice cream, pastries, and don't forget the drinks menu with water, sodas, wine, and beer.
Okay, so the waiter or waitress comes to your table. They might start by asking, "Can I get you something to drink?" You could say, "I'll just have a water for now," or "I'd like a lemonade, please."
After they bring your drinks, they'll ask, Are you ready to order? Or have you decided? If you're ready, you can start ordering. A polite way to do this is to say, I'll have, or I'd like.
Right, so for example, for my appetizer, I'll have the tomato soup, and for my main course, I'd like the grilled chicken.
Perfect. What if you're not sure what to get?
Great question. You can ask for a recommendation. You can say, "What would you recommend?" Or, "What are the specials today?" Specials are dishes that aren't on the regular menu and are only available for a short time.
Asking for a recommendation is always a good idea. Servers know the menu best. Another important thing is mentioning dietary restrictions. If you have an allergy or you're a vegetarian, you need to tell the server.
Absolutely. You could say, "I'm allergic to nuts. Does this dish contain any?" Or, "Do you have any vegetarian options?" It's very important to be clear about this for your health and safety.
Definitely. So we've ordered our food, now we wait and chat. The food arrives, and the server might say, "Enjoy your meal."
And you would reply, "Thank you." A few minutes after you start eating, a good server will come back and check on you. They'll ask something like, "How is everything?" Or, "Is everything tasting all right?"
They check on you. If everything is good, you can just say, "It's delicious, thank you," or "Everything's great." If there's a problem, now is the time to say it politely. For instance, "Excuse me, my food is a bit cold."
Right. It's okay to mention problems, just be polite about it. So we've finished our main courses. The server clears the plates, and then comes the big question.
Did you save room for dessert?
The answer is always yes. They'll usually bring a dessert menu or list the options. You order dessert in the same way you ordered the main course.
Okay, so we've had our amazing meal, appetizers, mains, dessert. We're full and happy. What's the final step, Matt?
Paying the bill, or in American English, paying the check. To get the server's attention, you can try to make eye contact. When they come over, you can say, "Excuse me, could we have the check, please?"
The check, please, is the classic phrase. They'll bring over a piece of paper with the total amount you owe. Now you have a few options for paying. If you're with a friend, you might want to split the bill.
Right. Split the bill means you each pay for what you ordered, or you divide the total cost in half. You can tell the server, "We'd like to split the check."
Or if you're feeling generous, you could say to your friend, "Don't worry, it's my treat," or "It's on me." Both of those phrases mean that you are going to pay for everything.
Very generous. And now for a really important cultural topic, tipping.
Oh, yes, this is crucial, especially in the United States. In many countries, tipping isn't common or just a small amount, but in the U.S., it's a very important part of the server's income.
Absolutely. A standard tip for good service is between 15 and 20% of the total bill. If the service was excellent, you might leave more. If it was poor, you might leave less. But it's very rare to leave nothing.
That's a key cultural point for our listeners to remember when they visit the States. You can leave the tip in cash on the table or add it to the total if you're paying with a credit card. There's usually a line on the receipt to write in the tip amount.
Exactly. And once you've paid and left a tip, you're free to go. You can say a simple "thank you" to your server on your way out.
Wow, that was a comprehensive journey through the dining experience. I think we covered everything.
I think so too. Let's do a quick recap of the key vocabulary and phrases we talked about.
Good idea. So first, when choosing a place, you can ask, "What are you in the mood for?" And you might say, "I'm craving a certain food."
Then you can make a reservation or book a table. When you arrive, you tell the host, "We have a reservation under the name."
When ordering, it's polite to say, "I'll have," or "I'd like." Don't forget to ask, "What would you recommend?" if you're undecided.
And remember the parts of the menu: appetizers or starters, the main course or entree, and dessert.
At the end of the meal, you ask for the check by saying, "Could we have the check, please?"
And finally, you can split the bill or say, "It's my treat." And don't forget to leave a tip of 15 to 20% in the US.
That's a perfect summary. Hopefully, this helps all our listeners feel much more prepared for their next meal out. It really is a fun experience once you know the language for it.
It really is. Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode of English with Friends. Thanks so much for listening.
We'll be back next week with a new topic to help you on your English learning journey. Until then, happy dining.
Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.